Simone Albers. You have been a resident in LIA for 3 months now. You came here for working in the studio, experience Leipzig. You had a scientific interest as well. And how was your overall experience first in Leipzig?
It was great. Leipzig is such a nice city, vibrant city, and the program fitted the overall vibe of the city. That's much about interaction. So I met a lot of new people through LIA, and it also it's nice that you had the connections to introduce me to collections or to guide me like what's out there in the city to discover and to also to investigate and to check out for my practice. So that was a lovely experience.
Yeah, wonderful. Is it difficult sometimes? There's so much social interaction here in Leipzig to focus on the work, or does it tuck into, well, or is it a special time frame where you think, okay, I'm going to use the social aspect, which is so strong here in Leipzig, for my work?
Yeah, that's interesting because when I applied, I really wanted a period for me to develop like new things, new ideas, and to read a lot. So I wanted this period to like be in my studio a lot.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot about how important it is to, when you go to another place, to actually meet people. So it was good that the program forced me to have these interactions.
Yeah.
And then it was, at the beginning, it was a bit hard to find a balance between like locking myself in and talk about the practice and get some inspiration. But I think overall it was nice that I could combine the two.
And you came here with also an interest in the natural history museums, and what is your approach to that in connection to your work?
So I'm interested in natural sciences, how they open up worlds beyond the directly visible, like the invisible becomes tangible and visible, like literally visible through, for example, microscopic or telescopic images. So I did series on the universe and imagery, scientific imagery, and the most recent series I did was on soil ecology and microbiology. I painted a lot of these tiny microorganisms, and for I'm busy with developing a new series which will probably have a focus on geology and like fossil records, palaeontology. So it was nice to be in a city where they actually have like an anthropocentric museum, and we did a trip to Berlin to also the Natural History Museum there to look at the collections, the paleontological collections. So that was a nice opportunity.
Do you think these museums have a specific role to play today?
I think so. It was interesting that I could meet the director of the Natural Museum in Leipzig through LIA, and we did talk a bit about the role of a museum, what's the difference between educational purposes of the museum collection and the scientific work that's being done behind, apart from the museum collection. And also the collection, I think they have about like 1 million objects in the collection. It's only 1% is on display. So there's this huge difference between the museum and the function it has and what the institution is doing behind the scenes, like the connection also to other institutions. So that was interesting to learn.
I think that's very valuable when artists actually can work with a collection, as so many things are not on display, and it gives them the chance to appear as well, or get into a discussion or be visible. So I think it's important that artists are actually engaging also with museums and collections and putting them in a public discourse. I saw that there are certain things which which you developed after your visit in Berlin. And the talk also to Katharina Gebers in the Hamburger Bahnhof and about artists today and about freedom of the institution in order to really develop ideas. Could you say something about the objects which just appeared in your studio?
Well, the pieces lying on the floor, I started that in the beginning of April, and the objects hanging on the rope, which is still like very early. It's just I see it as a sketch, but I've been painting for the past 10 years, and although I still enjoy painting, I also felt the urge to develop like 3D works, like to look into sculpture in a way to get the stuff in the space, and to also for people to go around it and to have like a body, like a physical object that has volume instead of just making a depiction of something else. And it made sense for me to start doing new things here in the studio that are in a way like hybrid shapes between painting and sculpture. And I took some things from the previous series, for example the braiding and the knots and the weaving of like the suggestion of threads in the paintings, to actually start weaving with old material that stuff that was lying around in my studio. So I used like old paintings, really old paintings that I don't display anymore.
It's a form of upcycling, basically.
Yeah, a form of upcycling to revisit my own past and to assemble new objects. So I was thinking of how things are always in connection to each other, and how they are in interaction with their environment, and how things are composed of all these elements that like move around them. So I think it was a very intuitive way to start translating these ideas in physical work as well, and also in the way of working or displaying the works.
And using the space.
Using the space, yeah. So
in
now
interaction with the objects.
So now it's still on the floor, but I'm thinking of making like a structure to put it into space, to give it more volume. Hang, and also the tail will be up. And then the wooden objects that are hanging on the rope, it's a similar story. These were like leftover parts that I collected last year when I did new sculptures with laser cutting. So there were all these tiny parts, and I thought they were so beautiful. I couldn't throw them out, so now I'm just trying to come up with ideas how to, upcycling sounds maybe a bit. It's part of the process, to recycle my previous stuff.
I think also here at a former cotton mill, a factory as well. And here they were actually taking the cotton, and the only thing all this building here was built for was to actually make thread out of cotton. And so weaving is actually also a very vivid sort of part of this building here, actually, because we produce the ground material for it. And then you taking industrial materials and recycling them in breeded sculptures is a wonderful way of taking this place and taking a step further. I thought that's a great way of capturing the space.
Thank you.
Well, wonderful, Simone. Thank you for your talk about your work.
Thank you for the interview and the visit.